Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Well, this is getting dangerous, it's getting messier, and the soldiers, armed soldiers, seem to be on standby to get the final nod to do the needful to the protesters, if of course it goes beyond this level, as they're already on standby to do the needful. But before we go into the full news proper and the intricacies that are following this news, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Don't forget that this EndSars has been ongoing for a while, and technically speaking, the protests seem not to have any leader per se, so it's a bit difficult to tackle any particular leader to end the protest as we speak. EndSars now moved down to EndSWAT, as the President Muhammad Buhari has rejected a request from the Nigerian army to quell ongoing #EndSars protests with soldiers. It was gathered that the president believed that this particular action will backfire. Well, Mr. Buhari have said that heavily armed soldiers with directive to open fire should be the last resort, if at all they will be considered, because of the spontaneous and elaborate nature of the ongoing pushback against decades police brutality, according to a presidency and two military sources briefed on the matter on Wednesday night. It was gathered that Mr. Burutai and some of his generals are increasingly very furious that #EndSars protesters have refused to stand down. He sought the president's permission to deploy soldiers to disperse protesters and take over demonstration grounds in Lagos and Abuja, a senior administration officer had mentioned as at 11 p.m. The official said Mr. Buhari feared that the protest could grow bigger if any attempt is made to use soldiers to violently suppress it, which is very, very true. Let's continue. The president is very wary of escalating the situation. He doesn't want this to backfire because there are many locations that protests are holding across the nation simultaneously. The chief of staff, Ibrahim Gabari, was among those who advised the president against deploying military troops. National Security Advisor Babagana Mongono did not take part in the meeting, but it was actually discovered that he was briefed. Well, as at the time of filing this report, no one knows if the NSA was briefed, and the telephone number for them to be contacted was not connected. Mr. Burutai's proposal followed a week-long demonstration that has refused to warn, despite government acceding to some of the key requests from the protesters. On Sunday, Police Chief Mohammed Adamu announced the immediate abolition of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, a police detective unit whose decades of corruption, ruthlessness sparked the world-famous hashtag. He also announced a new unit that would replace the defunct brutal squad. Mr. President, in addition, repeatedly assured that his administration will take police reforms more seriously, but urged protesters to embrace dialogue around a sustainable solution. The protesters have declined to end the campaign until at least 5 fundamental issues that borders on citizens' rights and restitution thousands of SARS victims. Nice one. But top government and security appointees of the president are sitting and now itching to do something immediately. Their desperation followed several advices that have been given to the president over the past week, including some without any form of law enforcement intervention, which probably may be, I'm just assuming, maybe it's the case of using talks to disperse some of the protesters, as we're already seeing already as is ongoing. But let's continue. This one just perceiving maybe that's one of the tactics, but let's continue. A military source said the president and his key insiders are reluctant to take a strict position because they are still learning to understand the main actors of the protest. The president may still be asking for time to better understand the protesters first, a military brass had told the organization, but the president, recognizing that these categories of protesters are not the same as members of Shites, which means these ones are quite different. Well, this particular news is gotten from People's Gazette, and it's quite exclusive anyway. But let's continue with what is going on. I want to quickly say this very quickly. This one was, I will say, kudos to President Muhammad Buhari for not, allowing anyone to pressure him to deploy military troops on the grounds of protesters or disperse protesters using military might, that would definitely backfire. Remember, this protest is not something that it is not a political protest. It has nothing to do with APC members. It has nothing to do with PDP members. It has everything to do with Nigeria and Nigerians, which means it's a Nigerian thing. So using military, you are now saying the government against the people. It will backfire because honestly, for everyone the military kills, the whole world will be clamped down. There will be a clampdown and there will be a hashtag like never before in the history of Nigeria. The whole world will hear about it. There will be series and series of videos that will come online and there will definitely be sanction against this government. We are talking about visa ban. That will be preamble compared to what would have happened if they have used military might over this matter. This is definitely not a military issue. Look, it's a case of dialogue. Dialogue is the solution here. Dialogue, and more dialogue will solve the matter. Don't even think of it. Whoever that is advising the presidency, thank you, Mr. President, for not even heeding to that advice. That would be total breakdown of law and order. Nigeria is not militarized. We're not in the military era that you have to use military might to force protesters from the street. They're not saying you should kill someone. They're only saying end the brutality of police. They have been killing the youth. It's not a tough one to ask. And of course, I must also say that they have tried by even, disbanding SARS. But Nigerians are saying, if you are disbanding SARS and creating SWAT, where are you putting what? What about the victims of those police brutality have harmed? What is their solution? What are the compensation? What form are we looking at to ensure that what happened in SARS will not happen in this new created SWAT? But let's hear what Nigerians are saying concerning this matter. First, I must commend the president for listening to very good advice on this one. Then subsequently, let's see what Nigerians are saying concerning this matter. This one here is saying that's where Nigeria will be destroyed totally if they just start that using military might. We are all waiting for them. Let them try it. Have you seen? Some protesters are even saying if the president tries to bring in military troop, every Nigerian will come out. This one here is saying what made him not to try it now? By January, there will have been a United Nations supervised referendum on Nigeria to determine how many countries the people want to divide into. Wow. I mean, Nigerians are saying if they have brought in military power, referendum will take place immediately because Nigerians, a lot of people will say, look, we want out of this country. Since we can't protest peacefully, then let there be referendum. Let every man go his way. Honestly, it's a very dicey situation for the government right now. It's a very dicey position for the presidency right now. But honestly, he should listen to caution. He should listen to dialogue. Dialogue, honestly, will save the day. Dialogue, not military force. Please, Mr. President, use dialogue. Don't use military force. People are listening. The Nigerians are willing to listen, but use dialogue as much as you can. Please do not use force. Let's continue. This one here is saying, in summary, Fulani power mongers are plotting the best way to kill southern youth. In order to stop the protest, we must continue. See, the Nigerians are even getting energized over the fact that they are thinking the military troops are coming for them. This one here is saying, oh, we are going to drag Burutai. Please don't drag anybody right now. Temperatures are really high. We need to really look into this matter very gently. So no lives need to be lost over this EndSars and SWAT matter. This one here is saying they are ready to deploy soldiers to peaceful protesters, but cannot deploy soldiers to bandits, Fulani herdsmen, and Boko Haram. Southerners will know why the North control almost all security agencies. This is not a matter of APC and PDP, but some people made it look like it was. EndSars now, EndSWAT now. Have you seen what we're saying? Nigerians are getting really angry over the fact that they are hearing that there's going to be military troop. The military troop have not come, but they're just hearing it and they're already getting very worked up. This one here is saying, if the military steps in, this will automatically become a complete revolution. The army would have to bite more than they can chew. Ogunki them. It is well. This one here is saying he should try and see now. he couldn't deploy soldiers to help fight bandits because they are his brothers. If that's the only way of tackling this situation, that means he's incompetent. This one here is obviously he is. This one here is saying funny people in government, EndSars, EndSWAT. Now Nigeria is getting angry. This is not the best way out. I must say this. This is not the time for force. Please, please let us tamper justice with mercy. Let's remove every form of weaponry in this whole protest. The protest has been peaceful thus far, but lives are being lost every day. Every day there seems to be one mayhem or the other. That's why we're going to wrap it up. What's your take on the fact that the military are trying to warm up to say they can just disperse the protesters once and for all? Of course, Nigerians have reacted very vehemently against that idea. Let's meet in our comment section.